What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Talking The Last of Us, Episode 7 recap. Man. Give yourselves a round of applause because you could be anywhere right now. But you're hanging out with me and I appreciate you. Man, so it's going to be an adventure trying to get the Nerd Out channel, up and running. I appreciate everybody that's coming through for this stream. We got a few people over on Rumble, and we got a couple people over here on YouTube. But you know how it is. Par for the course. Anyway, man. Let me see, there we go. So, The Last of Us Episode 7, needless to say, in my opinion, was well written. It was a great episode. You know what I mean? Where we last left off, Ellie and Joel had made it to the compound. I think it was in Colorado where his brother was staying. He stumbled across his brother in this compound that he was staying in, or this community. After a little bit of help from his brother and them reuniting, having a little fight, and then reconciling, Joel decided to continue on with the mission to take Ellie to a some like college or some medical facility, right? Because we know that she's immune to the cordyceps that are causing the global infection. So When they get there, look like the doctors hauled ass. They ain't there no more. Either something really bad happened to these doctors or they got the hell out of town. All the while, they see it look like marauders walking around the campus looking for trouble. They try to sneak up out of there. Joel ends up getting in a fight with one of them. And in the middle of the battle, Joel breaks his neck, but Joel takes some damage. Joel took a look at the baseball bat handle to the gut. Next thing you know, him and Ellie are hauling ass off horseback, and she's firing back at them while they try to make a run for it. Fast forward, Joel gets a little ways down, and then he just collapses off the horse. And Ellie's just sitting there pleading for him to get up, saying she can't do this by herself. So that was episode 6. Just a quick recap. We get into episode 7, guys. Excuse my voice. I wasn't a little under the weather yesterday. So we get into episode 7. What up, Sauce? We got Sauce the Prophet in the building. He says Joel made a new move pulling that piece out. Yeah, he did. He definitely did. Shoot. Hey, Sauce, let me know if you want to call in and talk about it, bro. So we get to episode 7. Episode 7, they show Joel and Ellie in a house somewhere. I guess she managed to get him hooked up to the horse, and the horse drug his ass to some community where they could take shelter. Snowing, it's cold outside. We see Joel in bad shape. Right? He's shivering. He looking like he on the edge of death. Ellie's trying to help put pressure on the wound. She don't know what to do. She's panicking. Joel pushes her away and says, yo, get out of here. Go find his brother. Go find Tommy. Right? Now we know that Tommy's a week's ride away from her, right? So when we last left them, Tommy said that where they were headed was a week's ride away. Right? It was a week's ride away. So Ellie, she heads for the door. Next thing you know, boom, we got a flashback moment, guys. And we go back in time to when Ellie was in Fedra officer school, which was interesting to me. Now, what was really interesting, guys, is the attention to detail that the show took, right? To make sure that this episode stayed as close to the game as possible, right? Whether it's the DLC content or the main storyline of the game, they've been taking great care to do that, right? So let me see something real quick. There we go. So yeah, they've been taking going through great lengths to do that. You know what I mean? Because they definitely been doing their thing when it comes to like staying on track. Now we know that episode 3, the Brokeback Mountain episode, the Brokeback Mountain episode, right, is what I coined it. We know that the Brokeback Mountain episode threw a lot of people off, but despite the 10 minutes of cringe, it was a really good episode. Very well written, right? What's up? We got Koish Ronan in the building. I see people starting to trickle in. That's fantastic. Appreciate you guys. What's up, Emmanuel Presley in the building? I appreciate you guys jumping in. But before I keep going, make sure you go over to the Nerd Out on YouTube. That's the Nerd Out. It's in the description box below. Make sure you go over to the Nerd Out, guys. No notice whatsoever? Of course not. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel for the Nerd Out. Let's help get that channel up to 100 subs, guys. It should be a no-brainer. Let's get that channel up to 100 subs. Yeah, man. He said episode 7 was mid as fuck. Episode 3 was great. I thought episode 7 was pretty good. What's up, Jay? We got Jay Polon in the building as well. Appreciate you guys swinging through. Anyway, let's see. Also, let me do this now just to make sure I do it. By the way, you like that music? You know I'll be picking some dope ass music, guys. And I'll be picking some dope ass music. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna put the call-in number in the chat if you want to call in and talk about the show. It's up to you guys. What up, Kay? You know spoilers over here, Kay. All right, guys. So I put the number in the chat. Also, let me drop it in the description as well.
Hold up, wait a minute.
All right, I put the number in the description and it's in the chat. Feel free to call in if you want to call in and talk about the Last of Us, guys. Anyway, but if you're new, hit that like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon. Please share the stream. Make sure you go over to the Nerd Out channel on YouTube, guys. The Nerd Out channel. Help grow this channel. Anyway, so check it, right? They did a fantastic job, guys. They did a fantastic job, right? Of staying with the show as much as possible, right? You know, and when you look at it, let me go and mute this up. So when you look at it, right? Like take a look at this footage here, where you can see that they were trying to stay as close to the content as possible, and you gotta appreciate that, right? You have to appreciate that. You know, they stuck with like a lot of the dialogue as well, right? Not just the visuals, not just the story itself, but they stuck with a lot of the dialogue, which was awesome. I thought it was fantastic. You know what I mean? The two young ladies that's playing Ellie and Riley. I mean, what can I say? I think they're fantastic actors. You know what I mean? I think they're fantastic actors. The girl that played Riley, she's been in a bunch of stuff. I don't know her name. You know what I mean? I don't know her name. But she's a fantastic actress. I know she was in like the Suicide Squad. I think she played Bloodsport's daughter. But anyway, like you can see here, like when it came to the mall, right? They kept it as close as possible to the mall. They built this set actually, guys. Like, I thought they might have went to a mall and did some things. No, they actually built this set, right? They paid attention to little details, like you see right here where you got the photo booth. They took a photo booth. They found a photo booth and put it in the show. Also, when they went to the arcade and was playing the arcade game, they made Raj's arcade, whatever it's called, right? It's the way they reenacted the game and stuck as close to the canon as possible. You gotta respect that. You gotta respect that, guys. Like, for example, right here, the Raj's arcade. You know what I mean? They really made that happen. Like, check this shit out. You know, you gotta respect it, because you get a lot of these directors, right, and a lot of these producers and stuff like that want to take artistic license over everything, right? They want to put their own little stank on it, and they end up destroying what ultimately is a great story. Like, we see it all the time, right, with DC Comics. We see it a lot with, like, in some cases with Marvel, where they just destroy the canon. You know what I mean? They want to deviate from an already amazing storyline to give it this fucking spin, right? You know what I mean? And I gotta give it to the writers of this show. They're doing fantastic with it. You know what I mean? Now, Riley, she comes back, right? So when we go to the flashback, Ellie, she's jogging around the gym. She ends up getting into the fight with some girl, and then she gets sent to, I guess, the equivalent of the principal's office, right? The principal's like, basically telling her, like, look, you're super smart, but you're being dumb. You know, you got two choices. Either you can be an officer like me, or you can shovel shit or whatever, basically. So, you know, she's looking at her future. Mind you, she's upset because her best friend Riley has been missing for like 3 weeks or so, right? Probably a little longer than that. Let me see. Yeah, so probably a little longer than that. So her friend pops up out of nowhere and takes her on this adventure. So where she takes it to is a mall that they were told that was full of infected. Come to find out, it's not full of infected whatsoever, with the exception of maybe one dormant one, and we'll get to that. So she gets her there, and she takes her, and she takes her through there, and they have fun. So you saw some of the scenes, right? You've seen some of the scenes where, you know, they're walking through the mall. They get on the carousel. They're in the arcade. They go to like I guess the equivalent of like a Spencer Gifts or whatever, or some Halloween store, and have a bunch of fun. You know, I thought it was a cool Easter egg for them to drop the Mortal Kombat in there. You know what I mean? It brings back a lot of nostalgia, right? And these girls play it perfect. They play it perfect, right? And what I mean by that is you can see that they grew up. You can see that they were born in this apocalypse. You can see they were born in post-civilization, I guess I would say. You saw it was a part where Ellie was on the escalator, and she was so excited to see an escalator. She only I guess she only read about it in books and stuff like that. So she got to actually go on the elevator, and the way these young ladies made it seem like, you know, this was some new technology to them that was only read about in movies and books and stuff like that. You can see the excitement, right? You can see the excitement. The arcade, they were so excited to see a real arcade because they never experienced the arcade. And they were playing. First off, I want to know how they got so good at Mortal Kombat so fast, right? How you know, like, you ain't never seen Mortal Kombat, you ain't never played Mortal Kombat. Next thing you know all the finishing moves. You know all the finishing moves on Mortal Kombat. You know what I mean? That didn't make sense to me. I'm like, come on, guys, y'all really know all of the Mortal Kombat finishing moves. Get out of here, right? Anyway, they're having fun. And then we get to this part here, right? So they're dancing around in the Halloween store, right? Having some fun, right? Ellie's upset because her friend Riley's talking about she's about to leave. She's about to go get stationed somewhere else. And then we have, you know, boom, just like in the game, which, you know, back when we had the game, she kisses the girl, right? She kisses the girl. Now, a lot of people, when the game came out and they found out that this was going to happen in the game, a lot of people had a lot of backlash over it, and I understand it, right? Because kids play this game. Kids don't need to see, you know, essentially who are kids, you know, two girls kissing each other. It's just it can be, if you want to imply it, you can imply it, right? You can imply it. You know what I mean? But like, I think that was a bit overboard, where you have these two girls. Maybe in real life they might be 18, 19 years old, but in the game they're not playing 18 and 19 year olds. You know, we know that Ellie's younger than Riley because Riley says she's 17. So I'm assuming Ellie is playing a 16-year-old in this game, or 15, or somewhere in her teens, right? She ain't 18. She's not an adult. So why are we showing these two young girls who are portraying teenagers, right, high schoolers, kissing? I think it's unnecessary. All right, I think it's unnecessary. I think it could have been implied. However, it didn't take away from the show, right? It didn't take away from the show. The minute that happens, they hear a rumble in the corner somewhere, and like I said, they stuck so close to the game, guys, which was fantastic to me. You know what I mean? So Ellie, you know, Riley raises the gun to shoot at the infected person, She hit him a couple of times in the leg, which she is still a shit shot. And they get into a fight with the, I don't know what they're calling them, right? Because he wasn't a clicker. I guess it's just the infected. Riley, Ellie ultimately ends up taking out, the infected, I don't know, what do they call them in the show? I don't, let me know what they calling them in the show. I still haven't yet to, if I know they had the clickers or whatever. She takes out one of the infected and realizes she's bitten. Riley also realizes she's bitten as well. And then they both start to lose their mind, right? So they sit down and they're looking at each other and they basically go, hey, we could take the easy way out, which is, quick and painless, bullet to the brain. Or we can just ride this shit out. Right? And then the game fades back to present day, and Ellie makes a definitive decision. She wants to try to save Joel, right? She wants to try to save Joel, which is very noble of her, right? Very noble of her. She runs into a kitchen. She finds some needle and thread, and she runs back downstairs and tries to stitch up Joel's wound to stop the bleeding, right? Because Joel's lost a lot of blood. He's lost a lot of blood, which, like, my man Sauce said, he made a rookie mistake. He made a rookie mistake, right? Pulling out that piece of wood out of his fucking gut. You know what I mean? Because that just left him, just bleeding all over the place. That just left him bleeding all over the place. But it cuts where she's trying to save Joel. Now, episode 8, I think it's gonna be a really good episode. I can't wait to see what happens with that. I think they're gonna introduce some new characters, and I think it's just, I think the episode's gonna be all about Ellie. We're gonna find out. But this episode was a great episode, guys. This episode was a great episode. Aside from, like I said, the two young ladies kissing each other, like they got to do it every single time. They got to throw in, some kind of LGBT something in the show. It's almost like it's a protocol now. You know what I mean? But other than that, it was a great show. The way they're sticking to the game, you can't go wrong with that. I say that all the time. You cannot go wrong with sticking to the original canon of a game or a movie or a comic. It's already written for you. So why fuck with it? Why mess with it? This is a great case in point. This game won multiple awards when it first came out. Multiple awards. For story and animation and all that shit. So, this is like running on autopilot. What up, Tony? What's up, King Tony? It's running on autopilot, you feel me? You don't gotta write nothing for the show. You don't gotta write anything. It's already doing it for itself. It's already done for you. All you gotta do is just direct it. That's it. I think this show's doing fantastic, guys. I think this show, I'm hoping, I don't know how many episodes we supposed to get. If you know how many episodes, I'm hoping we're getting 13 episodes. We'll see, because we're on episode 7 now. I really can't see episode 8 being the final episode for this season, if it's going to be any seasons. You know what I mean? However, it can be. The game's good enough to where you could make some seasons out of this, right? However, they're doing fantastic. The writers are fucking awesome. And they don't really need to write much because it's already done for them. A lot of these games, especially like this game here, The Last of Us, all you gotta do is just take the dialogue from the game itself. And they pretty much did that in this episode. Bravo to the two young ladies that played Riley and Ellie, playing Ellie, and the girl that played Riley. They did a fantastic job. Like I said, they brought the nostalgia back, guys. Because right now we in this era where we got like shopping centers. We don't got malls anymore like that no more. We got shopping centers, right? So when they went into the mall and had the escalator, I'm like, yeah, yo, I remember it took me back to this spot called Owens Mills Mall here in Baltimore. And if you're from here, you know what I'm talking about. If you were here in like the early 2000s, there's a mall called Owens Mills Mall. We also have Towson Mall that's still here as well, which is one of the last, big malls that hasn't been turned into a shopping center yet. Where, in Owens Mills, we had an arcade. You know what I mean? We had all the shoe stores and we would go there. It made me think about when we would go there after school, right? Or not after school, but like on the weekends and hang out with our friends and stuff like that, right? Holler at girls, all that stuff like that. And these girls didn't have that opportunity to do that. They grew up in the apocalypse. So this is just something that they only read about in books. And they got to experience it, and the way that they were showing the joy of doing all of this stuff and the excitement and making it seem like they experienced in this for the very first time. You know what I mean? It made me feel away, and it was awesome to see that. I think a lot of us knew where the episode was going to go because a lot of us, we either played the games or we followed it when somebody else played it on like Twitch or YouTube or some shit like that. You know what I mean? So I said Towson Mall rough. I keep forgetting you from around here, bro. I keep forgetting you from around here. You know what I mean? It's not too bad anymore though. They kind of stepping it up, but you still got you still got some knuckleheads that's acting a fool out there. You know what I mean? But I'm really into this show. When this show first started, I'm like, they're gonna screw it up. They're gonna screw it up. They're gonna take this show and they're gonna try to make it some artistic expression, and they're gonna completely destroy the show. Lo and behold, they haven't done that. Even with episode 3, that 10 minutes of cringe is like, fast forward through it if you ain't trying to watch it. But after that, the shit was good. It was good. Every episode has been good. You know what I mean? I hope they don't jump the shark like The Walking Dead has. The Walking Dead was great until after the whole Negan thing, in my opinion. I think even the Whisperers were kind of dumb. But after Negan, it was like, that jumped the shark real quick. But this show is great. Now, even if they give us 13 seasons and there's a resolution at 13th season and they stay consistent with what they're doing right now, I'm all for it. I'm here for it. I just hope they don't deviate anymore. They got two games that they can pull from. So there may be a season 2 because there was a second game. You know what I mean? If they stick with the original canon, they got a hit. You know what I mean? They got a hit, guys. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh, man. Where we at? YV says, since you got HBO, you gotta watch Lovecraft Country and Avenue 5. Excuse me, guys. Lovecraft Country, I've been meaning to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it. You know what I started watching? I started watching Chernobyl. Again. Just because I heard it was a great series. And I keep falling asleep, so I gotta go right back, and watch episode 1 again. But Lovecraft Country is on my list. Saw says it just peeped the new Mandalorian episode. Wasn't much going on. I think the Mandalorian might be done too. You know what I mean? I think it might be done. Ironically, Pedro Pascal plays the Mandalorian. Same, Joel from The Last of Us plays the Mandalorian. Ironically, how about that? He getting his money left and right, ain't he? Anybody notice a little subtle thing, right? Where Joel won't use an AR? Y'all notice that? Y'all notice when he took the AR from the guard in the first episode? Was it the first episode? Yeah, I think it was the first episode. Or the second episode. Whatever. When he took the guard and they ran, what did he do with the AR? He stashed it away, and he been running with a bolt action ever since. He got the Bill house. Bill had all the firepower, right? Bill had all the firepower, and what's Joel running with? He running with the bolt action, right? Which I feel like, they're putting their politics in that way in the game, right? Because Pedro Pascal and his whole stance on guns and shit like that, the whole liberal stance on guns, like you don't see, a whole lot of, like, with the exception of episode 5, you don't see a whole lot of, you don't see Joel running with a full auto gun, and you didn't even see it in episode 5. You just saw the townspeople with him, or the town's military with him, right? I think that they're putting that in there, like, oh, you don't need an AR-15 to be effective or something like that. That's just what I took from it. You let me know. Let me know if I'm tripping. Saw says the immediate knowledge of the finishers was on some Matrix I know kung fu type shit. Yeah, exactly, yo. How you gonna know the finishing moves? Come on. He says, man, they could have left it out, to be honest. The whole mall scene, you can tell clear as day they wanted to lock. Yeah, I agree with you. You know, Ellie fixing her hair and the reflection and the whole awkward pauses, and then the photo booth is implied already. It's implied already. You don't have to. I get it. In the game they did it. I got you. But you don't have to go that far, right? You don't have to go that far. Case in point, a network in Dubai, they censored that part out. They edited the kiss out. You know, and you got some liberals out there and some LGBTQ activists upset over it. And I'm like, what you upset for? That's their morals. That's how they live. They like, yo, we don't condone that shit. We don't condone, homosexuality. That's how Dubai, that's how they run their country. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure China, if China's showing it, that shit got censored. Saudi Arabia, if they showing it, that shit got censored. Just like they did with Lightyear. I mean, so like I said, it could have been implied. You're right about that. Appreciate you, yo. So he says also that stage of infected was a runner or a stalker. Okay, I got you. He was stalking 2 young girls. Sauce also says, bruh, I'm trying to see more high octane action with these infected. Can't show me a bloater a couple episodes ago and then leave me hanging. Yeah, yo, he was up there running around like Baby Huey, ripping people's heads off. He says, but you're right though, the mall scene made me remember hitting the mall on the weekends with the homies, skipping school at the end of our senior year to go to the mall, etc. Yeah, yo, that shit brought back memories when they was running around like, damn. And then I started thinking like, yo, could you imagine like only reading about this shit and then never being able to experience it? All you know that the world you were born into, that you growing up in, it is fucking hell on earth, essentially. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Yeah, no, of course, I ain't played the second game. I need to. I haven't played the second game yet. Demon that says, don't want to see Abby anywhere near this show. Oh, man. What's up, Kellen L? Says Westworld. Westworld's a great show. I did watch the first season of Westworld. I need to catch up on the rest of it. Westworld's fucking great. That's transhumanism at its finest. And some episodes, some aspects of Westworld make me think that if we living in Westworld out this bitch. You know what I mean? Westworld's a great show.
Game over.
You think so, Coy? Star Wars is dead, and this is from a hardcore Star Wars fan. Wow. So what about Bad Batch? I haven't seen Bad Batch. Is that terrible? I definitely recall Joel using the fuck out of the AR in the game. Might have to replay it. I know when I played it, I wasn't using no bolt action like that. I was running with shotguns or automatics. You know what I mean? Demon S says, I think this episode could have been 10 minutes long. I give you that, right? But I think, despite that, I think it was fucking great. I think it was a great episode. They could have cut out. You're definitely right. They could have cut off some stuff and gave us more time or screen time with Ellie and Joel. You know what I mean? I agree with you on that. You know. Let me see. Is my chat all jacked up? Yo, YouTube be wilding, yo. Don't know what the deal is with it. Let me see. How bad is it? Can I refresh it real quick? Let me see. I'm gonna try to refresh real quick. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the app, man. You know what I mean? Where we at? Let me see. I never heard of Wayward Pines. I never heard of that. I never heard of that. That's interesting.
Hold up, wait a minute.
Never heard of Wayward Pines. Bad Batch is what? Just really filler anime episodes with decent plot. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, so I got a gaming channel, J Matt's called The Nerd Out. So what I did was I'm streaming simultaneously to both, you know, for the day, just to kind of build up an audience over there. 1 or 2 days out of the week, I'm gonna, you know, do some nerdy shit. I'm gonna talk games, or I'm gonna talk TV like I'm doing right now, or comics. You know, just a palate cleanser. You know what I mean? We talk about so much crazy shit, it can get to you sometimes. So sometimes it's cool to, you know, talk about some distractions every now and again. That's all. You know what I mean? Let me see. But yeah, so I don't know. The Last of Us right now so far is getting, for me, The Last of Us is getting I would say it's getting an 8 out of 10 for me, right? You know, if we was going koofies, it's getting 3.5 out of 5 koofies for me. Right? There's still some room for improvement as far as like just like leave everything alone, I guess, as it is. You know, stop pushing certain narratives. Like I said, you know, some things is you know, they taking their artistic liberties with, but not a whole lot, and I can appreciate that. I definitely can appreciate that. So we'll see how this show goes. We're, you know, episode 8 is coming on Sunday, 9:00. You know, we'll see how this episode runs, and hopefully they don't jump the shark. But, you know, because they got a hit on their hands, guys. They definitely got a hit on their hands. You know what I mean? You switching to this when you was on the other stream. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let me see. Oh, hold on. Why'd I do that? Pop out chat. Boom. Yeah, sorry. That's weird. I don't know why they did that. The most recent Mortal Kombat live action and Welcome to Raccoon City was they were horrible, Kay. They was horrible. They was horrible. Welcome to Raccoon City was terrible. The other Mortal Kombat was, they should have just left well enough alone. You know what I mean? I heard Banshee was a great show. I heard that was a great show. There's a lot of shit I gotta catch up on. Saw says Wayward Pines is a good show about 2 feds that go missing, and the main character wakes up in some Truman Show type town where everything is a little too perfect. That's interesting. I want to check that out. I want to check that out. Emmanuel Presley says they mess up all my favorite video games when they take them to live action. Yeah, they do. What was the worst one? Street Fighter sucked. Street Fighter was horrible. Double Dragons was terrible. Who remember the Super Mario Brothers? Who remember that Super Mario Brothers movie with John Leguizamo and the guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Is that who? They were the two people that played Mario and Luigi, I think. I don't know, but yeah, you're right. You know, I think they can do better. I think they can definitely do better. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I appreciate you guys rolling with me. If you're not, subscribe to the Nerd Out, guys. Subscribe to the Nerd Out. The link is in the description to the Nerd Out. Please subscribe. It's also pinned at the top of this, or was pinned. I don't know what happened. YouTube been acting a fool. Please subscribe to the Nerd Out, guys. Let me see. Mario and Luigi. Bob Hoskins. Thank you. Yep, Bob Hoskins. He passed away, didn't he? Nah, yo, the new Mortal Kombat movie was terrible, in my opinion. I was like, what the hell? I had to spend my $4.99 on? Oh no, what was it? $20 on? I was so pissed. But yeah, anyway, so make sure y'all go over to the Nerd Out and subscribe to the Nerd Out, guys. Also, just to let you know, I did pick a game to play. I'm gonna start playing it soon. It's called I picked Atomic Heart. You like that Super Mario movie, yo? Check out Mortal Kombat Legacy. I might check it out. Like when I was a kid, like it was good, but then when like I got older and I revisited the movie, I was like, yo, how did I like this? All right, but that's how a lot of shit is. You know what I mean? You know, when you're a kid, you think shit was awesome, and then like when you get older, you're like, yo, how could I like this shit? This shit was crazy. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream for the Nerd Out, and we're gonna keep it moving on Rumble and the Ken Hotep YouTube channel. I got a couple of things I want to talk about. Let's see. Anyway, for the Nerd Outs, Ken and Hotep saying, be safe, stay well, stay strapped, guys, and keep gaming. Holla.